All right, what is up? We are at the Goo Gaming 3v3. We split top four, but these duels came in second. What's your name? What'd you play? How did you end up doing?
So my name is Jordan. Played pure Snake Eye today. I got carried. No, I had some good matches today. Had definitely some learning experiences for Vegas, but yeah, definitely some good stuff. I like the pure version of Snake Eye.
I'm excited to see it, man. Yeah, I think that deck is super cool. It's like super consistent. Can play a bunch of non-engine.
It is probably, in my opinion, it's the better version of the deck instead of the Fire King version.
I think it might, like, this tournament has kind of like persuaded me to think that it might actually be.
Oh yeah, and I'll get into some more detailed stuff once we get into the deck profile.
That's it.
All right, so starting off here, 3 Ash. This is your main normal summon. You got to play 3 of this card. So many times playing against the mirror match for Fire King, I can summon their Ash out of like their spell trap zone using Flambirds or something, but this is your 1-card starter for the deck. There's like a spreadsheet of combos with this card. Then we played 3 Witch. Going through the 3 ofs here. This card, you really want to see this card in your opening hand, or you want to search it off of like a Wanted or something. This is also a 1-card starter. This card is also insane by itself to set the trap potentially. The next we play 3 Fenrir. I really want to cut this card because I see it 2 of it in my opening hand every single game. But there were a couple times where actually seeing 2 in my opening hand came up. But no, I'm very polarized about Fenrir at the moment, but I do like it. It's such it's like slow game states. It's a very good card. So
I agree, 100%.
I'm tempted to keep it in. I might cut it to 2.
Cut it to 2. If you're seeing too many of it, that's always my go-to.
I really am thinking about cutting it 2 though, but yeah. Then next we have 2 Flambirds Dragon. This is your boss monster. This card is actually insane. A couple times playing the mirror match or playing against the Fire King deck when they put Poplar in their spell trap zone. If you end on really a simplified board state, you can Flamber summon their Poplar out, or you can summon their monster out to your side of the board and then trigger your card effects and start going off harder. It's really good in that aspect. Then we got double Poplar. This card probably is going to get banned.
Card's nuts.
1 Birch and 1 Oak. I see a lot of people cutting Birch. This card is actually insane. A couple times it did come up today where I summoned Birch during their turn off of, I got summoned Birch during their turn off of either like Flambirds, or I summoned it off of Snake Eye Oak, summoning back when Flambirds goes to grave. Its effect comes up, it's like very relevant to play around talents, play around Kurikara. People are main decking Kurikara. I'm one of them. Then the Jet Synchron for the Synchron combos and the Kurikara. I considered citing this, but like it's a 1-card, like you can search it off of Ash, you can search it off of Original. You can do a couple things and get to this card, and it's just fantastic. And then the Jet Synchron. This card was glued to my hand today.
I'm somebody that thinks that if you're playing Kurikara, it should be in the main. But
yeah.
I think a lot of the time, if you want to see it, you kind of want to see it like on crackback game 1 as opposed to post side.
Especially in this deck. In this deck, you can search it, you can use it as fodder, you can do whatever you want to do with it. I think playing 1 of it in the deck is actually a right call for it.
I think I agree with that.
So moving on to the spells here, we have 3 Wanted. You'll notice something after that about monsters. 3 Wanted. This card is insane. 3 Bonfire. Ignore my 1 CR. This card's cracked. This card is a Droll Magnet. That's what that card does. So if you noticed in the monsters, I didn't play any hand traps. So we are doing the power spell version. So we're doing 3 Super Poly, 3 Econ, 3 Cosmic in the main deck. Cosmic really does just destroy the Fire King matchup.
Oh, yeah.
I had it today where my opponent was playing Fire King. They open up their entire board, and then I just draw face Cosmic. And
what are you going to do?
They can't really do much. It just they triggered all their effects in draw phase, and then I continued playing and then super polyed them later. So I feel like Cosmic's a really good staple, and if you can play it in the main deck, it's actually good to play. Then 2 ofs, we got 2 Original. I actually added this card to 2 last night. I was very sold on playing 1 copy of it, but opening this card is also an extender. It's very good. I saw this card in my hand a lot today, and you summon a monster, bait out a hand trap, and then continue going after you send that card away. So
when all of your monsters are level 1 fires, like
it's so free.
So good.
It's so free.
It's so good.
Double talents. This card's cracked.
This
card is cracked. Several times today, I went into main phase to activate Wanted because I drew talents in my hand to try and bait out a hand trap. Because people you go main phase and they go Wanted. They're going to think you either have talents or they're going to think that you don't know how to play the game. So I got my I got my wanted Ash today a couple times, and I just talents rip their card out of there, rip another hand trap or an extender out of their hand, and just keep going through my turn. It helps you set up boards. It helps you draw 2 cards. I also had another game today where I wanted, drew a card. I took somebody's Heat Soul out of their graveyard and drew a card, and then I talents and drew 2 more cards. I had like 12 cards in hand at the end of the turn. It was nuts.
That's insane.
Then also you played one of the field spell. You have to play this card. Dramatic Chase. I had so many people read this card today because I didn't know what it did. This card's actually kind of disgusting because you place Diabell Star in your face-up spell trap zone, and then at the end phase you summon one of the guys out. So I had it work today where I was able to make Baron during my turn and then put the formula back in and then summon the formula out to be able to go into another card that I have in my extra deck for specific matchups. But yeah, it comes up a lot to actually have that happen. And you pitch it off of Witch too, and you can banish to summon another thing that's treated as a spell. Then the last one-ofs, we played 1 Subversion, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Called by the Grave. This card is disgusting. In the mirror match, you just reborn their Ash or their Promethean Princess, and you just start popping off.
I believe that.
Then the last card is the Trap, the Silvera. This card is also really good, Omni Negate.
Yeah, I've heard everybody saying that it's really good today.
It is fantastic because you just set it off of the Witch and you get a free Omni Negate. That's the 40. That's the main deck. 42 in the main deck. I tried to cut it to 40, but whatever.
There's a lot of cards. There's a lot of cards you can play.
The deck has like 18 1 to 1.5 card starters. So I called it 17 because there were 3 1.5 card starters, but I feel like it's super consistent. I had some issues today with some bricking with some like Fenrir's and such, but other than that, the 1 card starters are kind of insane. Moving on to the extra deck, we have 1 Link Karibo. You have to play this card.
Card's real good.
IP, SP, the duo. So many times you make IP during your turn and then place it back and then link into SP during their turn. Card's insane. Dark and Hida. Charmers are really good this format. 1 Princess. I really want to bump this to 2, but I cannot decide what to cut at the moment. It might be like the Super Poly targets, but they're too good to kind of cut at the moment. 1 Apo. There are some awkward situations where when you link off, when you like use the formula to synchro into Baron during their turn, you can use the level 1s off of the Flambird you synchroed away to summon 2 more, and then use IP to link into a format Apo during their turn. So they have to deal with a format Apo and Baron.
Which is great.
You do lose the talents at that point, but you have Baron up, so it just depends. Then we have the 1 Ambluel, the Raging Phoenix, and the Zealantis. This combo's cracked.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So many times today, I would summon Zealantis and summon back Raging Phoenix, and then I would take their monster from their side, summon Zealantis, and then their monster goes back to their field since they have nothing, and then it triggers the Princess Engrave because the monster was summoned to their field because it returns it to its owner. It's a weird ruling, but it's cracked. The 1 formula, the Baron, just so you can go into that, and then Herald of the Arclight was actually like a tech that I decided to play for the day. Came up several times against Fire King where they activate Island, you chain some cards, and then they activate Island's effect, you chain to synchro into Herald, and then it kind of nullifies their turn. They're gonna pop a card, summon a Garunix, but the Garunix can't activate. I mean, it can, but there's no reason to. The last 2 cards in the deck are the Super Poly targets, so the Guru and the Mud Dragon. You got to play him. I mean, so many times it came up today where I would summon a Garua off of Super Poly and then send it away off an original and then just get the draw. It's disgusting. Going on to the side deck here, we have 3 Crow.
Popular card today.
Shout out to Jimmy from our locals, from Deckbox Locals. Really supported me on this card, really liked this card, and we had talked some good theory over it as well. 3 Droll. I decided to side deck the Droll instead of main deck the Drolls with the spell version. This card actually didn't get sided in a lot today. The Snake Eye board doesn't really care about Droll, and I'd probably either replace this with Lancia or potentially like Nib, something of that sort, something like really blow out for some different stuff. Because I got evenly a couple times today, and when they evenly do a certain way, it can get awkward. Then Double Thrust. You have like 18 thrust targets in this deck. It's ridiculous. I sided 2 thrust targets in different Dimension Ground and Magic Deflector. I sided this against Rescue Ace and it's an FTK, and I sided this against Fire King and it's an FTK.
That's very fair.
Then more traps. We played do summon limits. We just wanted more cards for going first. The deck can really start breaking boards with Fender and other cards in the deck when your spells. So we wanted cards to go first because the deck can just kind of play through boards. And then 3 anti-spell. These got sided in once, and it was very high impact. But yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, man. Do you have any shout-outs before we go?
Definitely shout out to YuGiOh for hosting the tournament. Shout out to the All-Sting Third Eye of the team today. We're going to Vegas, so hopefully we'll see you guys there.
Hey, man, we'll see you there. Good luck at Vegas. Thank you for coming again, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome, thank you.